there ain't no Arsenal news, blood. You get me? The news concerning us is Eze might go to Tottenham, blood. You understand? And Rodrigo might go to Man City, blood.
So Tottenham want Eze. Eze apparently keen on the move. So what about Arsenal? Have we moved on? Do we not want him? Is there no more interest, seriously, in Eze? Or is it all just paper talk? Look, all I know is Arsenal should be all over Eberechi Eze. And that is the player that I think will help Arsenal try and break down low blocks, try and add some creativity, give us some flair and spark and excitement, and allow himself to express his quality. We've seen what he's done at Palace. We've seen what he does in big games. There's no denying that Eze would be a phenomenal signing for both Tottenham and Arsenal. But you cannot tell me that Tottenham Hotspur have a more likely chance of getting Eze over Arsenal. That just shouldn't be happening. Now, I understand why they want him. They need a number 10. Kudus has come in, but really and truly, Maddison and Kulusevski are way too injury prone at the moment for them to start the season just with Kudus in the middle. Maybe they have to play Brennan Johnson or Tell or Odegaard wide, but either way, I don't care about that. All I care about is Eze to Arsenal. Now, I understand that he's probably going to play more games at Spurs, but right now, you can't tell me that Eze is not going to get in the team ahead of Martinelli or Madueke. Now, I know he's not a left winger, and I appreciate he probably wants to play more centrally. But there's definitely opportunities for him to play a lot of games at Arsenal this season with 4 competitions, with Odegaard in poor form, with Declan Rice and Zubimendi looking like they're going to utilise them more deeper to this season. I think Eze off the left, off the right, and in the attacking 10 or attacking 8 role would be a great, great signing. Now, you can't tell me he wouldn't be interested because he's already said he wants Arsenal. Apparently, if the rumours are to be believed and the reliable sources have suggested that Eze wants Arsenal, Arsenal want Eze, Palace have said, fine, this is the release clause. And it does sound like there's some rumours suggesting the release clause could now have expired. Now, I don't think Arsenal would let that release clause expire if they believed that they couldn't get him without the release clause being there. So for me, I think that being now expired, if that is true, it was 68 million. Do Crystal Palace now have to say, well, we're not going to get 68 for him, so we might as well accept lower? Or do Crystal Palace say, no, we now want 80 because there's no release clause? That is the way that I think Crystal Palace might go. Now, if this is going to cost near to 70 or 80 million, I don't think Tottenham or Arsenal will get him. I think he'll stay at Palace. I just don't think that Tottenham and Arsenal will justify paying that much money on top of what they've already spent. But I will say this. I think once the player starts to make suggestions that he wants out of Palace, which I think are suggesting that he does want to have a new challenge. At the age of 26, 27, he's at his absolute prime. He's probably got one big move left in him. I think it's time. And if he was to go to Tottenham, it means Arsenal just simply didn't want him.
You know, we heard that yesterday as well. Rodrigo on his way to Man City, potentially. He's apparently our dream target. You know, everyone was saying, oh, Arteta loves Rodrigo. He's in love with the player. He's in love with Rodrigo. I don't understand why we're not going for him. Same with Eze now as well. Big up Top Gunner in the building, man. This could turn out to be a poor winner after all. Exactly. You know, don't get twisted. We got the striker in for fantastic. Zubimendi's in. Yeah, that's all good. And then the other signers were just for squad depth, really. But if the window ended right now and we're left with this in terms of incomings, that's not good enough, people. I'm sorry. You know, you can't miss out on Eze. You have to get... We need at least 2 more signings in my opinion.
But here we were waiting for a release clause to expire. Fabrizio says it is expired. Some people are saying it expires on Friday, just before the Premier League season kicks off. And some are saying it expires on the 31st of August. I don't know when it expires, but there's been a release clause there. And if you really want the player, then surely you test the waters. You don't just wait it out till it expires, even if you want to make a bid below the release clause set by the club, then you can do that. There's no need to wait for a release clause to expire. But Tottenham have swooped in. They're talking to Palace. Tobes in the Big Six WhatsApp group, you know, with a bit of in-the-know information. He's at the airport, or he was at the airport, and he saw Sami Mokbel. Obviously, Mokbel is the guy that announced the Zubimendi news in January, which was big news at the time, and obviously a big signing for us in the summer. And Sami Mokbel said to Tobes that Tottenham are ahead of Arsenal, just ahead of Arsenal in the race for Eze. Arsenal are stuck. We need to sell. But let me try and make sense of this, people, because the common consensus at the end of last season was we were very light. We didn't have the numbers to deal with the injuries we had, and it was foolish of us to have the summer we did last season with Sterling, Calafiori, and Marino, and think that was adequate to get over the line, to take that next step and win a Premier League title or win a major in general. Even in the Champions League, you could see us handicapped by a couple injuries, meaning Marino has to play up top, which is not ideal. He done his thing, but it's not ideal. So, yeah.
Silvinho following Maddison injury and Son exit. Eze keen, but deal depends on Palace as release clause expired. Now, there are some rumours that have come out today simultaneously. I haven't got it to hand, but have said, I think it was in the Daily Mail, that Eze's release clause expires first game of the Premier League season. Now, this is said Eze's keen. We all know a few years ago, Spurs tried to get Eze and his advisors were actually at a Premier League game. We all know Arsenal have been linked with Eze. Maybe we're trying to sell players and then look at this situation. And as I've said before, and as I said on my panel show, where it comes to me and Eze, or you and Eze, we would bring him tomorrow. Whether you think he's the option on the left, all that kind of stuff, everyone would bring him, right? Look at Arsenal. It's not that they don't think Eze is a good player, a versatile, multifunctional attacker. How much do they think he's worth? Clearly, they don't think he's a priority. And I know no two deals are the same. There's different isms and schisms, but they don't think he's a priority. Everyone who's come through the door at this football club so far was a priority, give or take even Gyökeres and Sesko, whichever one we was going to get. Then it seemed like regardless of Eze, regardless of Rodrigo, all these things, there'd be a bit of a pause and would flush players out. So that's what I mean. Clearly, he's not a priority like that.
Update, Eze and Tottenham are in talks. It's real. Fabrizio Romano said they understands Tottenham are also back in talks for Eberechi Eze, and that it's a separate deal from Savinho. Spurs are trying for Eze while they work on Savinho following Maddison injury and the Son exit. Eze is keen, but deal depends on Palace as the release clause has expired. We're probably quite lucky that that's expired because it seems an easier release clause to meet than the Morgan Gibbs White one, which Spurs showed that they were willing to meet. Only Nottingham Forest made that complicated. Gibbs White signed a new deal with Forest. So basically what I'm trying to say is, had that release clause still been there, Spurs might well have activated it. Why didn't they earlier? Because they did have a bit of time post Gibbs White. They probably just didn't know the terms of the deal. Arsenal, we know they're trying to negotiate Palace down on Eze. We actually want to get him for less than that release clause. There was lots of rumours and reports that Arsenal kind of believe they can do that. But also things have gone quiet. We haven't really heard of constant talks. We don't really know how advanced Arsenal are in their interest of Eze. All we have heard really is that Arsenal want to, sorry, it's first thing in the morning, I'm just waking up. We understand that Arsenal are really looking at sales first. Zinchenko, Lokonga, Reece Nelson, maybe a Kivior. So, yeah, everything's kind of cooled on our end. But you wait around too long, you mess around, and other clubs will come in for a player of Eze's quality.
Arsenal news. There ain't no Arsenal news, blood. You get me? The news concerning us is Eze might go to Tottenham, blood. You understand? And Rodrigo might go to Man City, blood. You get me? So, two of our main targets might end up elsewhere, blood. You understand? Mm-hmm. That's what I woke up to this morning, blood. Chilling in my bed. Looked on my phone, went on Twitter, and the first thing I see is Fabrizio tweeting about Eze, blood. You get me? They told me that the Madueke deal and the Eze deal were separate deals, blood. You get me? Told me, don't worry about us getting Madueke troops. We'll still get Eze. Don't worry, troops. That's what they told me, blood. You understand? But guess what, blood? On the 12th of August, I'm panicking, blood. I'm worrying. You get me? We could be losing two main targets, blood. One going Tottenham, one going Man City, blood. You know what I mean? Pep, he's got rid of Savinho, possibly also going to Tottenham, blood. You get me? Tottenham are getting Eze and fucking Savinho, blood. You get me? While we sit here with Madueke, blood, on the left-hand side. You get me? Man told me I'm doing too much. You get me?
No way they told you you're doing too much. They didn't say that to you. That's how
they told me I'm doing too much, bro.
That's
Go in the
crazy.
comments. Troops, you're doing too much. You still think that now?
Is it too much now?
Is it too much now?
No, we look at Eze's celebration. I feel like it was a self-fulfilling prophecy anyway.